An environment site assessment is often required for certain types of properties by lenders, banks, or local municipalities. The purpose of the environmental assessment is to determine if there is a contamination on the property, which may affect the environment or the people who are using the property. It is commonly required when there is a transaction in the ownership of the property, when applying for a building permit, or when changes in the zoning or usage of the property is required. Environmental assessments are typically done for commercial properties, industrial and manufacturing facilities, and multi-unit residential buildings. It may also be required if the subject property is near a gas station, for example. The scope of work for the Phase 1 environmental site assessment is limited only to estimate if there is a risk for a potential contamination on the property caused by current or previous activities on the subject property or on other properties in the area. To do so, an investigation is required in order to know what were the current or previous activities on the subject property or in the vicinity, and if these activities are classified as those that are a cause for contamination. Such investigations may reveal, for example, that a property that is currently being used for residential purposes was used in the past as an auto repair garage. In this case, a prospective purchaser can expose him or herself to liability issues if the risk is not revealed prior to the acquisition. The investigation includes a site visit for visual inspection of the property and the area to estimate if the current activities on the property, the materials that are being used on the property, construction materials that have been used on the property, or other conditions are or have affected the environment. This may include, for example, manufacturing processes that use different types of chemicals, auto repair garages that use large quantities of oils, fuels, or other liquids, above or underground storage tanks that contains oils or fuels. It is important to note that the Phase 1 environmental site assessment does not include any on-site testing or destructive tests, as it is only limited to a visual inspection of accessible areas of the property. Therefore, issues such as asbestos materials, radon gas, lead, or mold may be indicated in the report as potentially existing, based only on the type or the age of the structures on the property. The investigation includes interviews with people who are familiar with the property and can provide first-hand and important information about the current or previous uses of the property. The investigation also includes the review of historical information and the reviewing of records obtained from governmental and private sources, such as the Ministry of Environments, related to the subject property and other properties in the area. After all the available information is collected, an evaluation is made to determine if there is a potential risk for environmental impact on the subject property. If the findings show that there are reasons to believe that contamination exists on the property, then it is recommended to proceed to a higher level of investigation called Phase 2 Environmental Site Assessment, which includes on-site testing. Otherwise, no further action will be required. For further information, please call our toll-free number at 1-888-607-6556.